Hey, so I finished my collage book and I wanted to show it to you. This is the Collage Weekly assignments by Margarete Miller, and it's supposed to be 52 prompts, one for each week of the year. But once I got started, I was like, I am finishing this book and I am using up everything that I can. And I'm so excited because oh man, some of the stuff that's in here I've had for 100 years and never used. So I'm very like woo about it. Actually using the stuff up. I used up so much stuff. Like it was totally, I think it was $5 for, to get all the, prompts in a list instead of waiting. She releases them weekly for free, but I was like, best, it's either $4 or $5. Best $4 or $5 ever because I totally used up a bunch of stuff. So, worth it for sure. So this is the outside of it. I'm going to try to keep it in frame and all that, which I'm great at. But all I did was, this is like packaging tape that I got from work and some fabric. And that's where I sat that down and it was still wet, and that's transfer from what I sat it on. But you know what? It's fine. And I actually think I'm just going to leave it with the fabric like this. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to the cover. So I'm okay with it being what it is. So anyways, I'm going to get started. So the video is not 100 years long. And, I made this into a quote journal, so it also worked out great because I used up quotes that I've been hoarding for a long time too. So it worked out super great. And I figure what I'll do is I'll flip through and I'll read the quote on the page and try to go slow enough that you can see, but fast enough that it's interesting. And hopefully that will work okay. And if there's anything that stands out to me, I will point it out. So here we go. Yay. I'm so excited. All right. This is the first two, and like this is a spread, this is a different spread. So, and it's quite thick, just for the, look at that. Actually broke my binding. So, and I had to fix it, which is why I did that. But anyways, all right, now here we go for real. All right. So first page, it says, there are no happy endings. Endings are the saddest part. So just give me a happy middle and a very happy start. And that's Shel Silverstein. And on this page, it's a line from a Fiona Apple song, and it says, I ran where they told me not to run, but I sure had fun. So, good quotes. I love quotes. This one is, says, it is not down on any map. True places never are. And that's Herman Melville. And this one, I drew this little dude, and he's so cute. Look at his gappy teeth. I was proud of him. He's cute. And I drew this tree doodle too. So also cute, but his little gappy teeth is adorable to me. This one is instructions for living a happy life. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it. And Mary Oliver said that. And, this one says, all the love you've been dreaming of will be there at the end of the road. And that's a line from a song, an old song by Sir Harry Lauder. And I drew her too with that rainbow pencil. Oh, that rainbow pencil is just a whole nother level of awesomeness. I love it. And the quote for this page says, I like lists. I'm controlling. I like order. I'm difficult on every level. And Sandra Bullock said that, which is funny. I'm difficult on every level. Accurate. I drew her, and I drew this thing in the background. This one says, it's from The Wizard of Oz. Hearts will never be practical until they can be made unbreakable. And this is a stamp that I doodled over, one of the James Luke Burke stamps that I doodled over. And this piece is from one of the coloring books that I got, the one that's the same one that Bree has. And this one the quote is from Pablo Neruda, and it says, my soul wandered, happy, sad, unending. And this one is Einstein, and it says, creativity is intelligence having fun. So we're so smart and creative. Look at us go. This is Ode by Arthur O'Shaughnessy. Part of it, it's a long poem. It says, we are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams, yet we are the movers and the shakers of the world forever, it seems. And I know that poem because the first line of it is from Willy Wonka. Gene Wilder says it to Veruca Salt whenever she's schnozberries, who ever heard of a schnozberry? And he says that we are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams. And this one says, I myself am entirely made of flaws, stitched together with good intentions. The cats are going to fight. I'm going to yell at them. Hang on. Hey, quit it. Ugh. They're such jerks. The dogs will start barking here in a second. You know how it goes. Augustin Burroughs wrote that. I myself am entirely made of flaws, stitched together with good intentions. Can you hear the cats hissing at each other? They will not do anything like this until I'm like, oh, let me record it. And then they're like, we're going to murder each other and pretend like you're a bad cat parent. Hey, go. Bruce, quit starting stuff. Grr. Sorry. I'm leaving this in. This is all on the video. It's the realness. It's what happens in real life. This says, you may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I'll rise. And it's Maya Angelou, and the poem is I'll rise, or rise. Something about rising, but it's Maya Angelou. You could look it up. It'll come up on Google. This is another Fiona Apple song lyric, and it's, I want your warmth, but it will only make me colder when it's over. And I love that picture. I printed that out forever ago, and there's just something about that picture. Her face is so over it, and I really enjoy that. This is Alexander Pushkin, and it says, my heart asks for peace. Day after day flies by, and every hour takes away a little piece of life. But you and I, we two, we contemplate living. And I like that. That's one I've had, like one of the first quotes I wrote down, and I've had that forever. Vincent van Gogh, normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk, but no flowers grow. And yeah, exactly, Vincent. I'm right there with you. This is Charles Bukowski, and it says, I was waiting for something to happen, but as the years wasted on, nothing ever did unless I caused it. So I like that quote too. Quotes are, obviously, if I don't know why I say I like it. I like all of them. That's why they're in here. But some of them are better than others, and they just make you really think about stuff. I enjoy that. I drew this girl. I'm so proud of her. I really like her, a lot. I don't know. I might have copycatted her probably, but or at least something similar, but I like her. And the quote is, Albert Camus, in the midst of winter, I finally learned that there was in me an invincible summer, which we all need because man, winter's getting real old, even for me. I doodled this little mandala thing, and the quote on this one, was out of like a little vellum pack that I used, and it's a Mark Twain quote, and it says, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. And I like that, obviously. I'm not going to say I like that anymore because I like all of them, but also I like that. Derp, derp, derp. This is a Katharine Hepburn quote. If you always do what interests you, at least one person is pleased. And I really try to live my life like that. It's such a smart way to be. If you're trying to get everybody's approval, it's never going to happen. So you might as well just do what you want to do within reason and be happy yourself, because you're never going to make everybody else happy. I drew her. I think she's cute. She has a funny face. And it says Irish proverb, but who can know? I found it on Pinterest. A good laugh and a long sleep are the two best cures for anything. And also coffee, because man, have I been drinking the coffee lately. This one is Nanea. I don't know if that's how you say her name. I saw this on Pinterest too, so maybe Nanea. I don't know how you say it. But it says, with enough coffee. I did not plan that. I totally didn't realize I was going to be like, I need coffee. And then it was coffee. With enough coffee, I feel as though all things are possible. Many of them are highly unlikely, but they are possible. And this one, it has my favorite, my kissy face fish from that scrapbook paper that I've had for 1,000 years. I love those stupid looking fish. I'm almost out of this. I'm like, got like 3 fish left. I have savored these fish. It's a line from a Nick Drake song. It says, "Someday your ocean will find its shore." I drew this cup with oil pastels. I really like it. It's cheerful. And it's a line from a She and Him song. "Old habits die hard when you've got a sentimental heart." And this one says, Thankfulness is the quickest path to joy. Jefferson Bethke, maybe, is how you say that person's name. Again, I don't know. Sometimes you read stuff and you don't know how to pronounce it. So if it's pronounced wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not as smart as everyone else, maybe. I don't know. But the sentiment is there and I enjoy the sentiment. I drew this. And this one is a Sylvia Plath quote. "I'm gone quite mad with the knowledge of accepting the overwhelming number of things I can never know, places I can never go, and people I can never be." And this is a Helen Keller quote. I love this scrapbook paper. Helen Keller did not say that, but as a side note, I like it. "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing." I don't know that that's entirely true, but it makes for a nice quote. I fussy cut this. It's a Ferris wheel, and anytime I fussy cut something to that extent, I like to point it out because I don't have that much patience usually, but there's something about cutting out those little it just makes it look, it's worth it. If I never fussy cut anything again, if I could only fussy cut one thing, it would be every Ferris wheel I ever use because I love it. Also, look at that octopus. Adorable. And this one says, Isaac Dennison. Again, I'm not going to tell you I probably am pronouncing this wrong. Just assume I'm pronouncing the person's name wrong. "Perhaps he knew, as I did not, that the world was made round so that we could not see too far down the road." And this one is John Stuart Mill. And it says that so few dare to be eccentric marks the chief danger of our time. And honestly, that's the truth. Oh, I mean, seriously. And also you can tell here that my binding broke. You can see it here, but you can start to tell here because check out that wobble. It's fine. I don't mind. This will be shut and it won't get any worse. It'll be all right. This one was Martin Luther King Jr. And it says, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." And this one, again, was from that vellum thing that I had. "Like all great travelers, I have seen more than I remember and remember more than I have seen." And I like her face because she looks like cheeky, like that's, yeah, making up some stories to tell you. And I made a little origami heart. I'm so proud of it. I did a couple little origami things to stick in here and I'm like, I like origami. And then I'm like, you don't have the patience for that. I love this guy so much. I'm leaving to do this rat. I drew him and you've seen him before, but I need to draw 47 of him because he makes my day. This is Bruce is up on the stove getting into his cat treats like a tiny monster because he knows he's not allowed to. And they're just causing trouble. I don't have children. You're not supposed to act that way, you jerk cats. This is from that coloring book that you got me that has the apocalypse coloring books that has the quotes. "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow," Friedrich Nietzsche. And this one, I drew that and I drew that. It's a Virginia Woolf quote. "The moment was all, the moment was enough." And they're having a moment because she's kind of a peeping Tom, but I think it's okay. I think it's fine in this scenario. Henry David Thoreau, "The world is but a canvas to our imagination." And this one, I drew this bicycle for Inktober. And I threw it in here because I drew it just on a piece of crappy paper. And I'm still really proud of that bicycle. They're hard to draw. Thinking of how they work, you really need a reference for some things. And that's one of those things, but I think it came out pretty okay, if I do say so myself. And this is a quote from Amelia Earhart, and it says, "Some of us have great runways already built for us. If you have one, take off. But if you don't have one, realize it is your responsibility to grab a shovel and build one for yourself and for those who will follow after you." This is Peter McWilliams, and it says, "It is a risk to love. What if it doesn't work out? Ah, but what if it does?" which is nice. Ah, but what if it does? Oh, I'm not that idealistic anymore. I'll just, who can you like get through the mire that is life with? Excellent. After 17 years, that's the most romantic thing I've got. This is a line from a Lucinda Williams song, which I love her. Her lyrics are always so smart. The line is, "There's a place in my heart, I've got room to spare. There's a place in my heart, I'll make room for you there. Room for you there." And it's a good song. All her songs are good, I think. Most of them. I can listen to like every one of her albums and they're all just really nice, I think. I drew her with the James Luke Burke tutorial. So it's his guy, or his tutorial. I drew that from it. And this is Proust. "If we are to make reality endurable, we must all nourish a fantasy or two." And this one, Mark Twain, "The worst loneliness is not to be comfortable with yourself." I love that. Her turban and like, or I don't know, I guess that's what you call that. I don't know. There's something about that picture. I saw it in a magazine. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I was like, I'm going to steal that. And I've had that for a while and I really like that picture. This one is Dr. Seuss. "You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose." And this one says, it's Mark Twain again. He's very quotable, isn't he? "The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog." And I've got 4 of them. So that's 4 times the harsh standard to measure humans by. Oscar Wilde, "No man is rich enough to buy back his past." Bob Marley, "Love hard when there is love to be had." Oh, and I pulled out my perfect pearls and used them. I don't know if you can tell how shiny this and this are. So shiny. And this one I used embossing powder on and I was like, look at me using up crap. So exciting. Eleanor Roosevelt, "Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway." So accurate, Eleanor. It goes back to the Katharine Hepburn one about always do what you want to do and at least one person is pleased. Henry Ward Beecher, "The art of being happy lies in the power of extracting happiness from common things." And this one, Blair Waldorf, "Destiny is for losers. It's just a stupid excuse to wait for things to happen instead of making them happen." I drew that little bunny. He has I had to be like a long-eared animal, I think was the prompt. And I was like, here comes the bunny. Sydney Smith, "It is the greatest of all mistakes to do nothing because you can do little. Do what you can." I love this too. And this is, again, I printed them out a long time ago. So I don't know at this point about the copyright thing. So I'm just going to tell you, this is not my image. None of these are my images. And please don't sue me because I'm poor and you won't get anything anyways. Orson Welles, quote, "I don't say we ought to misbehave, but we ought to look as if we could." Also, this is for personal use. I would never sell anything with quotes on it. So I don't know if that helps me like stealing copyrighted stuff. I don't know. But it's for inspiration and please don't sue me again. This one, William Ellery Channing, "To live content with small means, to seek elegance rather than luxury and refinement rather than fashion, to be worthy, not respectable, and wealthy, not rich, to study hard, think quietly, talk gently, act frankly, to listen to stars and birds, babes and sages, with open heart, to bear all cheerfully, do all bravely, await occasions, never hurry. In a word, to let the spiritual, unbidden, and unconscious grow up through the common. That is to be my symphony." Oh man, quotes. Words, I tell you what. This is Roald Dahl. "And above all, watch with glittering eyes the whole world around you, because the greatest secrets are always hidden in the most unlikely places. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." And I got this from a brochure, but that woman's face, I actually got 2 of the brochures. It was like when I went to Myrtle Beach or somewhere like that for like some kind of museum. And I got, so those free ones that they leave. So I got 2 of them because I liked her face that much that I was like, adieu for me, and then quickly exited. Victor Hugo, music expresses that which cannot be said and on which it is impossible to be silent. Bill Watterson, rainy days should be spent at home with a cup of tea and a good book, or all days. And it sometimes can be coffee, and that's okay. George Eliot, it's never too late to be who you might have been. And here's where the split happens. And it wasn't like that until the very end. Like, I made it to the very end, and when I tried to open this page, it was like, crunch, and I was like, no! But it'll be fine. I don't mind. And I'm the one who has to look at it, so it's totally fine. St. Augustine, the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. And there's no quote on this. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's funny. You know when I noticed that? Just now. That's okay. There's a bird and a cat and a tea bag and a jellyfish and this cool lady, so it's okay. It's not going to kill my soul or anything. She lied. I'll figure it out later. I'll go back and input something. I will do that. C.S. Lewis, there are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. Albert Hubbard, and I drew this. It's the Statue of David, really stylized, but not terrible. It does look like a dude, which dudes are the harder thing to draw, so I will take random dude and find that acceptable if you don't see the Statue of David. Albert Hubbard, to avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. And this one is Hunter S. Thompson. I felt a tremendous distance between me and everything real. And that's the Leper Library. I found that image online. And that's the Leper Library in Lisbon. And I was so excited. I printed like 10 million copies of that when I found it because I have good memories about the Leper Library. And bookmark the rabbit. This one is Henry Ford. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. And I drew her. She apparently has a drinking problem. I don't know why her nose got that red, but, you know, maybe she's like a clown, and I don't know, whatever. Stephen King, hope is a beautiful, wonderful, painful thing. And this is a James Luke Burke stamp. And that is, you did that with emboss and powder as a resist with one of my scrapbook papers. So that's in there too. E.E. Cummings, to be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best night and day to make you everybody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight and never stop fighting. Louisa May Alcott, you are an extraordinary woman. How can you expect anything ordinary to happen to you? Shakespeare, the rob that smiles steals something from the thief. Claude Monet, I must have flowers, always and always. Cute deer stamp. Oh, it's adorable. Steve Martin, be so good they can't ignore you. Charlotte Bronte, he was the first to recognize me and to love what he saw. And my favorite poet of all time, although not poem, just poet. I love Edna St. Vincent Millay. She'll forever be my favorite. She's the greatest. I love her so much. Not her best poem, but a fitting poem. Was it for this I uttered prayers and sobbed and cursed and kicked the stairs that now, domestic as a plate, I should retire at 8:30. I love her so much, seriously. Read everything she writes. I can't broadcast into the universe enough. She, like, it speaks to my soul or whatever. I love her poetry. Kimmy Dawson is a line from a song. The sound of our voices made us forget everything that had ever hurt our feelings. And this little stamp guy, he's so cute. It's a Stevie Nicks quote, I search only for something I can't see. And I drew her on a dictionary page. I'm pretty proud of her. I like her sunglasses and her hair. Yeah. Oscar Wilde, to live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. And this one, Madeline Miller, The Song of Achilles. Perhaps it is the greatest grief, after all, to be left on earth when another is gone. And this one, Carl Sandburg, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm on my way. And these people are in a car. It's almost like that was planned. I did this little thing. I forget what the lady called them, but it's like scrapbook paper wonky shapes, and then you draw faces, and I totally forget what she called them or who she was or whatever, but it was a free thing on YouTube that she showed you how to do. So sorry, I don't remember what the person's name was. Emily Bronte, You Said I Killed You, Haunt Me Then. And this one is Von Goethe, In All Things It Is Better to Hope Than to Despair. And this one is Maya Angelou again. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Now we're getting to wonky shaped pages, so I gotta make sure. Oh, I'll have to glue you down. Stick it together. I have to make sure I'm flipping all of them. Hootie and the Blowfish. Everybody gets a chance in my in my quote book. Tomorrow's just another day, and I don't believe in time. Joseph Campbell. Suddenly you're ripped into being alive, and life is pain, and life is suffering, and life is horror. But my God, you're alive, and it's spectacular. Oops, see what I mean? George R.R. Martin. When the sun has set, no candle can replace it. And this is Emily Winfield Martin. I do remember this one. Her work is really interesting to me. F. Scott Fitzgerald. The world only exists in your eyes. You can make it as big or as small as you want. And Nietzsche again. When we are tired, we are attacked by ideas we conquered long ago. And I find that to be exceedingly accurate in myself. Wendell Berry. When I rise up, let me rise up joyful like a bird. When I fall, let me fall without regret like a leaf. There's my other origami, is Little Fox. And I had to glue him so that he would stay flat smushed onto the page, but there he is. Claude Monet. Every day I discover more and more beautiful things. It's enough to drive one mad. I have such a desire to do everything. My head is bursting with it. And I feel you there, Monet. I really do. Make the quilt, do the art, maybe draw. Here's some collage, blah, blah, whatever. But here we are doing our best, I drew this. This is one of my Michael challenges where when we were doing that, he would challenge me to draw something and I would challenge him to draw something. And this is pizza feet, hence him saying, check out my feet, bro. And his feet are slices of pizza. This is a Nietzsche quote again. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process, he does not become a monster. So Pizza Feet is a monster, but he's a non-threatening monster. He couldn't run very fast anyways, like to get you, because he's got pizza for feet, so there's greasies sliding around all over the place. He'd never catch you. You'd be fine. And he's a nice monster anyways. I drew her. Albert Einstein. Fewer those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. And another line from a She and Him song. Change is hard, I should know. And I drew him also. Albert Camus, the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. So stick it to the man and be yourself. The Buddha said this, believe nothing, no matter where you read it or who has said it, not even if I have said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense, which is sage advice indeed. I drew this a long time ago. And Gordon Hinckley, cynics do not contribute, skeptics do not create, doubters do not achieve. And this is another one of the vellum guys with the little Dalmatian behind it. I travel not to go anywhere, but to go. I travel for travel's sake. The great affair is to move, which I thought was fitting to put a dog on the page, really, because honestly, you want to go for a ride? You do. And I too want to go for a ride, so we're very similar in that regard. The quote is Rumi, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Which can either sound romantic or threatening, depending on how you say it. 'Cause shank and whatnot. It's Frida. Look at her. Yay. She got in my book this time. It's another Henry David Thoreau. We Need the Tonic of Wilderness. And Mary Poppins. Nothing is gone forever, only out of place. And this one, D.H. Lawrence. We've got to live no matter how many skies have fallen. And Dr. Seuss. Today I shall learn how to talk. Today I shall behave as if this is the day I will be remembered. And another one of my favorite poets, Walt Whitman. We were together. I forget the rest. And I loved my glitter rats. I have a bunch of those left. And that was the best, I think I got, the pack of glitter rats for $1, in an after Halloween sale, maybe even less than that. And there's probably 20 glitter rats. And as you can see, they're fairly decent sized glitter rats. But man, I love those glitter rats. They're awesome. Bruce Lee, do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. And Rumi, the wound is the place where light enters you. I drew that weird looking rabbit with the square eyes. And I think this is Willy Wonka. It got a question mark because I couldn't find it as a quote. But I saw it again, I think on Pinterest or something, as one of those little title card things. But I'm going to say it's Willy Wonka. Disregard reality, acquire pure imagination. And this one is Pablo Picasso, who we all know sucked as a human, but had an interesting thing to say. Inspiration exists, but it has to find you working. Which is also very true. And I love that wolf's face. It's so hilarious. Pablo Neruda. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved, in secret, between the shadow and the soul. And Dorothy L. Sayers. What are you to do with the people who are cursed with both hearts and brains? I don't know, but a lot of times it really sucks. And there's not a quote on this either. I swear I put a quote on this. That's 2. What is wrong with me? Oh my goodness. I drew her a long time ago, last year, May 10th, last year. I can't believe I didn't put a quote on that. I really strongly felt like I did. I wonder if pieces have fallen out, and that's, who knows? Let's just continue. But I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Jane Austen. Is not general incivility the very essence of love? And yes, I think so. I drew also this one, and I love her face, this grandma face. I really like that. I've had this thing forever, and it's really thick. Can you see how thick that is? And I'm so glad I finally got to put it somewhere, because I love how the bears look. It's super cute. Josh Ritter, it's a line from a song. Every heart is a package tangled up in knots someone else tied. And this is also a line from a song, John Prine, who again has the most genius lyrics. All of his lyrics are just astonishing. Broken hearts and dirty windows make life difficult to see. That's why last night and this morning always look the same to me. And Mary Oliver. I want to think again of dangerous and noble things. I want to be light and frolicsome. I want to be improbable, beautiful, and afraid of nothing as though I had wings. And Rumi, I closed my mouth and spoke to you in 100 silent ways. And you made this for me also with the the ultra thick embossing powder.